So what do you think using it so far?
Looks like a space shuttle or something like that.
Right? This is the Mars 400S Pro, and it's a video transmitter, as well as a mouthful to keep saying to you guys. Anyway, this will boost the production level of your videos. Or at least that's what we're here to find out. We're gonna take a look at it from the perspective of a run-and-gun content creator. So is it worth it? Or is it a cost you rather not spend when you're just working as a solo shooter most of the time? Let's figure it out. So for this video, I wanna be a little bit selfish and I'm gonna check out how I can use this in my own workflow. So for that, I mean shooting stuff here in the studio, whether it's for YouTube, for clients, or going outside on a job. Well, it's gonna be a little bit different because of Corona, but we're gonna make it work. So definitely check the second part of this video to see how that works out. So full disclosure, Hollyland sent this one to me as a review unit, although this video is definitely not sponsored by them. So these remain 100% my thoughts. And before we dive into all of this, I just wanna run over some specs to get started. One of the main selling points is a 400 feet reliable wireless transmission with 0.08 seconds of latency. Now, this also depends on the monitor that you're using because that can introduce some lag as well. Now, more about that distance in a minute though, because I sent my buddy out to test it out for me. It has both HDMI and SDI in and outs, so you can use this even if you move up to a cine camera workflow later on in your career. Build quality, well, it's great. It's all metal construct except for maybe a few plastic buttons and the antenna that are on top of this. But other than that, hats off. Battery wise, you can use L-series batteries, DC power through a D-tap for example, and use USB-C connected to a power bank. Your monitor will probably run out of juice before this one will, especially if you're using these L-series batteries. It also comes with an app where you can use up to 4 mobile devices when you're using the transmitter, or 2 mobile devices if you're also using the receiver on your monitor. But these are just specs. How does it hold out here in the studio and how does it perform outside on a job? I've been putting a lot of my time into a new initiative that I'm putting out called Creators for Climate. And with that, I'm also recording courses like within this setup that you're seeing here. But that also gives me a really great opportunity to test this out and see how that performs in the studio. And actually, I found a good few options to use this for. Okay, so this is gonna sound stupid, but normally I have my glasses on to read stuff or to see the monitor. But sometimes when I need it up close, it just won't fit with the monitor, or the monitor is in a weird spot, or I don't have the tools that I really need to set it up the way I want to. So with a small clamp like this, I can just attach the monitor and the transmitter, and I can move it around where I want and have the flexibility that I need. The app can become indispensable. It looks like this one is faster than Ninja. But it looks pretty dope though. Now, I only have one monitor right here, but what I do have is an iPad and a couple of phones at my disposal. So when we are recording a course, I can set this up in a way that I have the monitor close to me, which is COVID safe, and I can monitor everything, all the cameras around me at ease. And then I can give this, for example, for the instructor to see. I can set it up in a way that's really easy. So we have multiple monitors going on, even though I might only have one to use for myself, which is, yeah, this works for courses. It works for tutorials, for explainer videos, testimonials, whatever use case you can see fit. And in the case that you're working with multiple people, clients, or a director, you can give them access to the app. And in an indirect way, that will boost your production level because everything will go so much smoother. Remember that distance test? Actually, I mailed the guys from Hollyland to ask them about the maximum distance you can get out of this. But I didn't really get a response back other than the advertised 400 feet or 120 meters. But when we get out there, we had a feed of over 500 meters before the signal got lost. Oh, I think we made it. This is as far as we get. But of course, this was out in the open, in direct line of sight. However, it's good to know that you have a workable distance. Mounting it on top of a camera can be tricky. It has a weird form factor and it can get a little bit bulky with the battery attached. So therefore I propose putting it on a rig and just being prepared to fiddle around and see where it fits great within your whole setup. So with my buddy's Blackmagic on a Tilt-A-Rig, we found a nice spot. Now, I do think it's good to invest in a good power solution because if you get the L series batteries, well, you see, it's gonna get really bulky to attach that all to a rig. Now, regarding that latency, let me just call up a professional who knows a little bit more about this. Brent.
Well, in some cases you can. Slow-moving pack shots on a small slider, or when you're not working with actors or the camera is moving really slow, then you can. But once there are a little bit faster movements, actors moving around, going from one to another, or you have to point the focus from actor A to B and stuff like that, then you really need like zero latency, otherwise it's just not workable.
So what do we know now? It looks cool, there's no way around that, but is it actually worth the money? Then I need to ask you this. Are you a creator that works mostly on his own and you need a wireless setup for yourself in a studio? Then yes, this is something for you. Are you a creator that works with a director or a small team of people that need to see what you're filming? Yes. Do you need a professional transmitter for like focus pulling and doing stuff like over long distance for high-end products? Then probably this isn't for you. Where do we put this? I think it's a great introduction to video transmission. Like if you're just starting out, this would be an ideal bang for the buck. You get a lot for your money. Now, if you do need more higher end features, that's where you also need to be at the higher end prices, I think. Anyway, that's it for this one, guys. I will see you in the next one, near future. There's so much I have to tell you. There's like a new setup here going on. Finally got some ND filters to put on there. Now I'm like a real filmmaker. Chris Meets Chris told me to start vlogging. Maybe I should do like a live Q&A or something just to get over all of the stuff. Is there anyone still watching this?